Amara was born in a small Nigerian town, but her future was never meant to be small. From the moment she blossomed into a young woman, her beauty was undeniable. Deep, flawless ebony skin that seemed to glow even in the dimmest light, high cheekbones that caught the sun just right, and eyes that sparkled like the stars on a clear night. Her body was an hourglass perfected not just by genetics, but by a growing obsession with enhancing every curve. Her hips swayed with a rhythm that hypnotized, her slender waist accentuated by the subtle, almost sculptural definition of toned abs. At 22, Amara fully embraced her power. She knew her beauty wasn't just something to be admired. It was a currency, a key that opened doors and hearts. She carried herself like royalty at the exclusive parties she frequented. The plush velvet lounges, the rooftop clubs overlooking city lights where champagne flowed like water and the bass thumped through the floors. Her signature walk was a dance, slow, deliberate, confident. Men watched her from across the room, caught in the gravity of her presence. At times, she'd catch their gaze and smile, a smile that promised pleasure and mystery. And just like that, she had them. They'd approach, nervous but eager, offering drinks, compliments, anything to get close to her. And Amara, she took exactly what she wanted. Her nights were a carousel of lust and luxury. One evening, she might be draped across a billionaire's yacht, the sea breeze teasing her silk dress. The next, she'd be tangled in sheets with a stranger in a penthouse suite. There was no need for love, no time for emotional connection. Only the pure, heady satisfaction of being desired, of taking control. Sex was her playground, a source of ecstasy she chased endlessly. And when desire wasn't enough, money always was. Her sugar daddy, an older, powerful man with a soft spot for her intoxicating charm, made sure she never lacked. His lavish gifts paid for everything, the bills she never wanted to think about, the designer shoes that lined her closet, the spa days and salon appointments that kept her looking immaculate. She underwent surgery after surgery, nose reshaping, lip fillers, cheek implants, and the Brazilian butt lift that gave her the curves she flaunted on every social media post. Every new procedure was like a brush stroke painting the masterpiece she was determined to be. Yet behind the sparkle of Instagram filters and the applause of followers, Amara's heart held a quiet secret. A creeping fear that time would catch her, that no matter how many enhancements she made, the natural laws would not be denied. But she pushed the thought away, focusing instead on the next party, the next lover, the next thrill. One humid Saturday evening, Amara arrived at an exclusive club dressed in a tight, shimmering gold dress that hugged every curve. The crowd parted like the Red Sea as she made her entrance, the DJ's beats syncing perfectly with the sway of her hips. Men trailed her like moths to a flame. She spotted Isaac, a wealthy entrepreneur she'd met a few months earlier, waiting near the bar with a drink in hand. Their eyes locked, and she glided over, her voice low and inviting. "Tonight, I want to be spoiled," she purred, slipping her hand into his. Isaac smiled, his eyes darkening with desire. "Anything for you, Amara." Hours later, in a suite overlooking the glittering city skyline, they lay tangled beneath silk sheets. Amara traced circles on Isaac's chest, savoring the power she held, the way his gaze softened, how completely she had him. Afterwards, she slipped out before dawn, already planning her next conquest. By her 40th birthday, the world had changed. The once endless invitations dwindled. Amara noticed the subtle shift first in the mirror. Fine lines framing her eyes, a softness to her once taut skin, the subtle sag where there had been none. The surgeries slowed, their magic fading against time's relentless march. More painful, though, was the change in men's behavior. Where once she was chaste and desired, now she was glanced at politely, or overlooked entirely. She tried to keep up appearances, longer nights out, more expensive dresses, but the thrill was gone. One evening, after a party where she had tried to dazzle and seduce, Amara sat alone in her limousine, the city lights blurring through the window. She stared at her reflection in the dark glass, a stranger staring back. A wave of loneliness crashed over her, the kind that no amount of luxury or lovers could wash away. For the first time in years, she felt an ache for something real. Love, companionship, a partner to share quiet mornings with. But the men she once attracted now seemed uninterested in the woman beneath the glitz. Unable to bear the rejection, Amara turned to her followers with a new message. She crafted posts filled with declarations of strength and independence. She spoke of the power of being single, the freedom of choice, the joy of self-love. She urged women to stop chasing validation from men, to own their sexuality without apology, to live without shackles. Her online persona was magnetic, flawless, and fearless. Thousands listened and followed, inspired by her charisma and boldness. But behind the glowing screen, the real Amara sat alone in her dimly lit apartment, staring at the ceiling. She cried silently, mourning the intimacy and connection she had sacrificed for fleeting pleasures. Decades passed. Amara aged into her 60s, her once radiant skin now softened by time, her body less agile but still holding traces of its former grace. The loneliness deepened into depression. The public saw only her confident posts and glamorous images, unaware of the dark battles she fought in private. One night, overwhelmed by despair, she took a fatal overdose. In her final letter to her followers, she wrote with raw honesty, "I was not the woman you thought I was. Behind the lights, the parties, the confident smiles, I was broken. I was lonely, I was afraid. I am sorry for leading you to believe that beauty and freedom alone were enough. They are not. True happiness comes from love, from connection, from accepting imperfection. I wasted years chasing illusions and it cost me everything. Please don't make my mistakes. Choose love. Choose yourself beyond what the world sees. Choose truth." Amara's story teaches us a profound truth. Beauty and pleasure, while intoxicating, are transient and insufficient foundations for a fulfilling life. True power and happiness come from embracing our whole selves, including vulnerability, love, and connection. Independence does not mean isolation. Strength is found not only in standing alone, but in daring to lean on others and build lasting bonds. We live in a world obsessed with appearances and instant gratification, but beneath the surface lies the need for genuine relationships and purpose. Amara's journey warns us that ignoring these needs in favor of superficial allure can lead to emptiness and despair. The ultimate lesson is this: value yourself beyond your looks and pleasures. Cherish real connections. Embrace change, aging, and imperfection with grace. And above all, seek a life rich with love, meaning, and authenticity, because that is the only true beauty that lasts. If you found Amara's journey meaningful, please take a moment to reflect. What does true beauty mean to you? How do you nurture the relationships and love in your life? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let's start a conversation about real strength, real love, and lasting happiness. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that inspire and challenge us to grow. Remember, your true beauty shines brightest from within. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care of yourself and those you love.